Hey folks, if you've seen my recent NAS video, the one where I compared Synology with DIY home servers, as well as the one where I'm talking about the levels of NAS and types of servers that you guys can build at home, you might remember that I recommended Plex as well as Jellyfin as a media server of choice and the one that I used myself. So recently I have opened Plex and I got this screen that you see on the screen as well right now. It's a new prompt asking for consent to share basically your data, my data, IP address, watch history, device identifiers with over 165 vendors. Now that looks alarming, and some people are saying Plex is suddenly sell all your personal data, especially on some of the Reddit posts. You know how it goes on the internet, but that's not quite the full picture. So in this video, I wanted to talk about what's going on with Plex, what it means for your privacy, and how, if you want, you can move to Jellyfin, something that I just did on my home server, and how to install the Jellyfin app, in my case on Samsung Smart TV running Tizen OS. And for context, Plex is a company and Jellyfin is a 100% open source media server. They are similar products aimed at media streaming of content between devices. So let's dive right into it. So what's going on with Plex? Let's break this down a little bit. As of this time, so first half of 2025, well, it's June in this video, with the announcement you saw on my TV and that I put on the screen right now, Plex quietly rolled out, well, not quietly, but rolled out an update requiring all users, especially accounts over 10 years old, to accept these new privacy terms. This new prompt is part of compliance with the United States privacy laws like California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, Colorado Privacy Act, and partially some of the European laws, most probably GDPR as well. Basically, Plex has always logged some of the user playback activity to some degree, and if you wanted to opt out, you could do it if you know where to look, and there are plenty of Reddit posts that discuss this topic. But with this new announcement, Plex is basically doing the following openly. For new accounts, you have the ability to opt out during the setup of your account from the data collection. And for the existing users, Plex now prompts you to either opt in explicitly or opt out, or visit your settings and choose what you're opting in or opting out. Now, what it means in practice for your privacy is Plex is allowed to collect data like IP address, device ID, your platform info, log your exact playback activity, what you watch, how long, and so on, and a little bit on that in a bit, and share and sell this data to their 165 vendors. These changes mostly apply when you watch Plex's free movies and TV section. So the content Plex folks themselves put for free on their Plex streaming service. Additionally, if you read the privacy section, then Plex explicitly states that they don't share information on the content you stream from your own media server. So only the meta information that you also can see on the screen. An important fact here is that the telemetry still occurs in the background, even when you stream only your own files, but you can choose to only store it locally on your media server. And as you can see, there is always an option to delete this data from your privacy settings. So is opting out possible? Yes, opting out is possible. You can opt out of data sharing and Plex collecting the data, but you cannot opt out of ads if you want to keep using Plex's free streaming. So you will still see the ads. And granted, the settings are a bit weird, and I believe specifically kind of manufactured to be difficult to change, or maybe Plex just didn't have time to optimize the user friendliness of those pages. But to opt out of data sharing and selling, you need to go to Plex TV account privacy, your privacy account page. There will be a setting of privacy with regards to your friends and sharing information with your friends, but that's not what you need. You need to go to the advertising preferences and hit the set all to no button under the advertising vendors, as you see on the screen, and then save your preferences. As they say themselves, Plex is able to provide free-to-watch movies, shows, and live TV by displaying a modest number of ads before and during playback. While it's not possible to opt out of these ads, you can opt out of selling and sharing of certain information. And in my opinion, this is pretty clear. As one commenter put it on the Reddit, honestly, this isn't hugely concerning. They run ads in certain situations and they need consent to personalize those. So fair enough, and you can opt out, as I said, by choosing all no and saving the preferences. So in my opinion, despite some heated arguments and posts on Reddit, I still don't think Plex is having a hidden agenda. You can still use their product for free, and if you watch their free content that they put for you on their own streaming service, then they will show you ads, which you can still opt out of them selling your actual data, and then the ad will not be personalized. So, as I said, seems fair to me. However, if you're worried about that anyway, you can always go full self-hosted and install Jellyfin, which I'm going to tell you about in the next section. So Jellyfin is a totally free open source alternative to Plex. They call it the free software media system. No tracking, no hidden ads, no premium upsells, just you and your media. And more, as you can see on the website, there is also books, photos, and gaming sessions together that you can sync through Jellyfin. So it's not just the media and shows. It's perfect if you've built your own NAS and want total control without surrendering your viewing habits to, selling your viewing habits to the advertisers. For myself, I populated my Jellyfin server with a public domain movies that I got from the Internet Archive. Those public domain movies are not copyrighted anymore, so they are in public domain, and I just wanted to do it so that you can see a big library of my videos instead of me showing you my personal videos, which I'd rather not put on YouTube. But here's how here's how Jellyfin would look. So I have two libraries, movies and shows, and I also have my live TV with various channels added, and there are different ones just for the demonstration purposes. So how to install Jellyfin? There are plenty of ways. All of them are explained on the Jellyfin website. We will not go through all of them, but basically, depending on your system, your operating system, and where you want to run it, it differs. I run Ubuntu, simple Ubuntu server. Is just a box for me, and I install Jellyfin using a Debian package, which is the default distribution, default software package distribution method on Debian-based Linux systems like Ubuntu. I used this tutorial online. I will put a link to the description of this video if you need it, but basically it's very easy. You need to add the Jellyfin repo source to your package sources on Ubuntu first, and after that you ran a couple of commands, finally sudo apt update and sudo apt install Jellyfin, and that's basically it. After that you can navigate to your browser on your normal computer, put in your NAS server IP address with a port 8096, which is the Jellyfin specific port, and then you go through the browser-based setup. You add your users. After that, you can add your libraries, configure sources for metadata, and then you see it populated in your media sources. After that, you can just start immediately watching it in your browser to see if it works. We'll configure certain things in Jellyfin admin a bit later, but now we'll talk about installing it on the TV so you can actually watch your media on the TV. All right, so now how to install Jellyfin on a TV. My TV is from Samsung, so I cannot install the official Jellyfin app because it doesn't exist. So I installed the unofficial Jellyfin app. Other TVs, like the ones with Google TV, have the official Jellyfin app that you can install from the Google Play Store. However, my TV runs Samsung's Tizen operating system, and Jellyfin is not on the App Store, so you would have to sideload it. First, to sideload any app, you need to enable developer mode on your Tizen TV. It's super easy. You navigate to the apps screen on your TV, activate your input. There is a small button on my remote that says 1, 2, 3, and then you type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, you should see a pop-up where you can toggle developer mode to on, and usually what you immediately want to do is input the address of the computer you'll be using to install the app from. So in my case, it's my laptop. And after that, you need to restart your TV by holding the power button for about 2 seconds, and you should see the developer mode phrase, text activated and visible in the apps menu. Now you have a developer mode on your Tizen TV. Next to the app itself. So there are a couple of ways to do the side loading: the difficult and silly way, and the fast and the cool way. The difficult way includes installing something called Tizen Studio. Then you need to download a WGT file from the Jellyfin Tizen GitHub project that you see on the screen. You need to connect to the TV through this Tizen Studio, push the app manually, and we are not going to do all these steps. There are even better way, and thanks team for that. So there is Tim, whose website Team Wants Coffee you see on the screen, and he has a fantastic website description called Install Jellyfin on a Samsung TV. It's very easy. There is just one command over here that you need to run. And to run this command that he describes, it will push the app from your machine that you run to, so from my laptop to the TV, provided you have the TV's IP address, and the Jellyfin app for the Tizen will be installed. So to do that, you need Docker, and installing it, it's very straightforward. So on a Mac or Windows, you just download the official Docker app and install it. And then you need to go and run this Teams command on your terminal. Just make sure you include your TV's IP address. If you need to find it, you need to go to the TV's network settings, and there you can probably click on the network status, and then you will see the internal IP address on your TV that you need to put into this command. Depending on the system, this command might not work. It didn't for me because my Mac has an Apple Silicon CPU, and I had to modify the command a bit to accommodate this different architecture. You see the adjusted command now on the screen. So if you run into any issues, check out the project page that Team has on the GitHub, and you can always see what other options you have, and he lists it on his GitHub page. Once all that done, you should see Jellyfin appear in your list of apps on your TV. After that, you just need to enter the IP address of your Jellyfin server. So in my case, it's my home server. Don't forget to write HTTP and the port 8096 at the end, and then you're ready to go. Then you just need to log in with the user that you just created in the earliest steps, and it will work perfectly for your local media playback with no ads and no data collection. So how well does it work? For the local streaming, excellent. It works great. So Jellyfin supports a lot of codecs. It plays fast without buffering, without any hiccups or anything like this. It also has integration with many metadata providers like media covers, also subtitles out of the box. So for example, if Jellyfin doesn't know what show it is, you can input the correct IMDb identifier there, and then Jellyfin will correctly fetch all the pictures and provide a description of the show for you. Regarding the performance, it's great. So one pretty cool difference with Plex is that it has hardware transcoding out of the box. In case of Plex, you need to pay for a premium tier for hardware transcoding, but with Jellyfin, it just has it by default. What it is, it allows your home server to use your graphics chip on the CPU, and maybe even if you have it on your home server, a dedicated GPU to transcode your media. So to convert from one format or from one resolution to another. For example, if you have an HDR 4K movie, but your target screen is a 2K non-HDR smartphone, then this will be useful, because then it will not transmit the media that cannot be normally played on your device. Normally, CPU can do transcoding as well, but it is more efficient to let dedicated GPU to handle it. That's why I think Jellyfin wins in this comparison compared to Plex. So to enable it on Jellyfin, you can go to User Dashboard Playback, and there you will see Enable Hardware Transcoding. After that, you need to choose the appropriate engine for transcoding. So in my case, I have an Intel CPU in my home server, so that will be Intel QuickSync. Then you can also enable hardware decoding for additional codecs you want. HEVC is, for example, a recent very popular new codec, so you can enable it. And the multi-GPU field you can leave empty unless you actually have multi-GPUs on your server. With regards to usability and, let's say, metadata, pretty solid. Jellyfin is a straightforward and easy to understand tool. Sometimes certain things don't work immediately. Compared to Plex on my TV, it really worked faster, so it's a much smaller application. It didn't have any problems playing and transcoding any media I tried. As I mentioned, it has great metadata support out of the box, so it can find descriptions of your movies or shows automatically, download subtitles, and so on. And next to that, Jellyfin also supports different plugins that can enhance your experience, and since it's open source, you can also try to make a plugin yourself. Now, where it doesn't go very well for Jellyfin, its live TV feature is a very nice feature that, by the way, is not available by default in Plex. In Jellyfin, it was a mixed bag for me. It works well in browser and mobile apps. But my Samsung Tizen app couldn't stream some live TV channels. I used the IPTV.org list, where you can just take some of the public TV channels. So the Tizen TV couldn't stream them unless I enabled transcoding. And most likely, and judging by similar posts from people on the internet, it's a bug in the app related to direct play. So if you wanted to effortlessly watch live TV for fun or education, as I mentioned, the IPTV.org has a lot of public free channels. It's all legal. It's a great resource. And you have a Tizen TV, you're sort of out of luck. You would have to force transcoding on the TV, which is not a very optimal choice, or just watch it on your laptop or other device. Another hurdle where Jellyfin kind of loses to Plex is a remote access. Jellyfin doesn't use a central server like Plex for discovery. So if you want to watch your media away from home, you have a few options, either static IP plus port forwarding of your home server through your router to the internet, but doing so without encryption and a proper reverse proxy can pose a security risk, so I wouldn't recommend it. And there is another way, Tailscale, which is super popular way to do that. This is the safest method and easiest method, I would say. There is this fantastic video of about 40 minutes, so I will not go over it. You can listen to Vandal here. I will put a link to the description below, and you can set up Tailscale as well. Okay, so finally, let's quickly break down how Plex and Jellyfin would compare based on what we witnessed and based on all the features that we just talked about. Regarding the ads, Plex includes ads, especially if you're watching their free streaming content. They also collect some of your data and they might sell it unless you opt out of it. And Jellyfin, completely free, it's open source, you control it, it's yours. It also doesn't collect any data. Your media stays private on your home server. Both platforms support live TV. Plex requires a Plex Pass subscription to enable it by default, while Jellyfin gives you that feature out of the box for free. And as you saw on some devices like Tizen TVs, it doesn't fully work. When it comes to the remote access, Plex wins definitely here on convenience. They have this relay feature basically with a centralized server that lets you access your library from anywhere without much setup. With Jellyfin, you'll need to either port forward manually or better use something like Tailscale, as I mentioned before, for secure access without opening the firewalls. Plex also has polished native apps on most smart TVs and also on PlayStation and all kind of devices, but Jellyfin also supports many platforms, but sometimes not fully, or you need to sideload the app manually, so it's not plug and play. At the same time, Jellyfin is open source. It gives you full control, but you'll need to roll up your sleeves for initial setup and some configuration. Finally, Plex is free, but you pay with ads that you watch and optional paid tiers for extra features like Plex Pass if you need it, and Jellyfin is completely free and open source. Nothing else to add there. So yeah, to wrap up, Plex is definitely more polished and Jellyfin is focused on the privacy. It's also flexible and works well. And if you're building your own NAS and want control over what's happening, then it's hard to beat. But I just wanted to make this video to kind of point out that is Plex evil? No. They've clearly chosen a path where the data fuels their business, which they need to run. And I get it. They need to make money. And they make it pretty clear how to opt out from them selling your data and also from them collecting, from you sharing specific data to them. So I think their behavior is quite fair in this situation, especially for the service you and me, us receive from them. But for those of us who want to really run own service with their own data, perhaps this is a step too far, and then Jellyfin is always an opportunity. It gives you trust in your data, your server, your rules. So if you're into this kind of things, I think it's a good choice. So I hope this video helped to clear some confusion about the recent news, and I hope to kind of also provide clarity on what you can use for your home server, where it Plex or Jellyfin. Let me know your thoughts and comments, and if I missed or forgot some details as well, please let me and others know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.